The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cinder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you updates on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Heidi Hawley, and Heidi is the Executive Director of the Friendship Center. Welcome, Heidi.
Well, it's such a pleasure to be here, Cinder. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. And now, big treat. I get to hear all about what's going on with Friendship Center. But first, tell us a little bit about your basic services in sort of normal times as opposed to right now.
Well, in normal times, Friendship Center was open Monday through Friday from the hours of 8 until 5. And we have a site in Montecito, across the street from All Saints by the Sea Episcopal Church. And we also had a site in Goleta, housed at the off of Fairview and Cathedral Oaks by Live Oak Church. And there was always a buzz happening. You know, once you entered the doors of the Friendship Center, we provide care for aging adults with health conditions and much needed respite for their families.
Okay.
So that, you know, a lot was going on. We provide activities and socialization to deter long-term care and keep people thriving and active as long as possible.
Okay, so in fact, sometimes I see Friendship Center adult care services, or how?
Yeah, so we like, the trend right now is to say Friendship Adult Day Services.
Adult day services,
Right.
Okay.
And also we're known as Friendship Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea is this wonderful place that you have that's so welcoming and fun-filled, you welcome people, older adults, to come, and you play games and do all kinds of things with them for the day or part of the day, and then their caretakers can go and have some time to themselves. But don't you also provide some sort of services for the caretakers, like education?
Right,
or something?
education and support, and we partner with various other organizations in the community to, you know, provide support for our caregivers. Now, you had mentioned when we opened up after the pandemic, after 16 months of being closed to on-site services, we had one caregiver who came in, and I said, well, your husband's going to be here today and be active, and, you know, we're going to have a snack, and we're going to play activities and you know, memory type games. And I said, what are you going to do? And she really didn't know what she was going to do, because she was just so relieved after having her loved one with her for that amount of time of 16 months with no respite. And then she finally came around and she said, you know what I think I'm going to do? I said, what are you going to do? And she goes, I'm going to go home and take a nap.
Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I bet she's so tired after all that.
Yes, because with individuals who have, you know, Alzheimer's disease or some form of dementia, that can be a definitely, you know, 24-hour care for them, and they need respite and relief. So everybody was so excited when we did open up for on-site services for our families.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that. You can't say, oh, honey, I'm going to go take a nap, because you never know what the person's going to do.
Right, yes. So that's key, is giving the caregivers a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now we've had, we are in the middle still of the pandemic, and I know that you have pivoted and been very creative in your response to that. So tell us a little bit about that, if you will.
So when we closed our doors on March 16th of 2020, due to the mandate by our governor, to basically, isolate at home because of the pandemic, we got together as a team with our staff and our board of directors and said, how can we continue our services during this pandemic? And we brainstormed and decided to partner at that time with the Bucket Brigade and the Food Bank and Easy Lift to create some totes for our families to deliver them at home to keep them active too. We also would put activity sheets in there for their care receivers.
Oh, okay.
And we would put masks and snacks and healthy treats, and we would deliver those once a month. And also we did call-ins to check on people. We also did drive-ins in the parking lot. So we would have a theme day like the Festival of Flowers and deliver people flowers while they're in their car with their family caregiver and do activities out in the parking lot.
I saw one of those. Yeah. So you have the parking lot.
Right.
And you have the clients, no, you call them members.
Members.
Yeah. And their caregivers in their cars.
Right.
And then you and your staff would go out there and
do activities.
All kinds of activities, silly things.
Everybody really enjoyed that social connection too.
Yeah.
And we all, were following all the appropriate, protocols as far as safety and wearing masks and also delivering them goodies in their car.
Yeah.
And, it just kept them more vibrant and versus being at home isolated during this time. So,
Gosh.
that was key really
and
for our
very
seniors.
Creative.
It was very creative. We have a very creative team. And so we also had have a Community Connect adult program. So we also did programming on Zoom. And for those people who were isolating at home, we would have activities via Zoom, like word games, music, and a sing-along. We would have bingo, which was really popular. So we continue with that pivoting too as far as the Zoom for those people who still want to remain at home rather than socializing.
Because I'm sure some people do still want to remain at home, even though your doors are open now.
Right.
So that's great. So you've got sort of a hybrid approach now.
Right. And our hybrid approach is to keep people safe during this pandemic and to have 2 shifts. So we have a morning shift that starts at 9 and goes until 12:30. And then we have an afternoon shift that goes from 1:30 until 5. So family members can choose which session they would prefer, the AM or the PM shift.
So, but you used to be open all day?
From 8 to 5.
And then would members typically come in and stay all day, or just a little bit at the time, and then this one to go and that one to come?
Right. So our extended hours were from 8 to 9 and 4 to 5. So typically a majority of the people would come from 9 to 4, but pretty much they would stay all day.
Pretty much all day.
Yeah,
then.
because the caregivers need the break.
Yeah.
And we do help them to age in community and be social, which can also alleviate some of the isolation and depression that can occur with some of our older adults. So that really does help them just to be more active.
What a wonderful service.
Yeah. And during the pandemic, we had one family member call up and says, "Can you just please take my husband?"
Oh gosh.
How about if I just put him in a wheelchair and he can sit in the parking lot? We said, no. We realize that you do need a break, but no, we can't really do that. So
gosh.
Because it's such a tremendous need.
Yes,
it really is.
Yes.
And we really do save families that financial hardship that can occur. If you do have to place a loved one in a long-term care facility. So it can be very costly.
Very expensive.
And we do partner with all the facilities too, because there is a time when, it may be appropriate for someone to go to the next step. However, if we can keep people in their homes as long as possible and remain active and enrich their lives and give them purpose, it really is helpful to them as they mature in place.
Do you think many communities have a service like this?
There are several in California of adult day programs. So there's an adult day health model, which offers more adjunct therapies, nurses on staff, physical therapy, occupational therapy. And that program is reimbursed by Medi-Cal.
Oh.
So there's the adult day health care model. We are a social model of care.
Okay.
Which means we embrace the medical model, but we're not licensure.
Okay.
Our licensure is not for adult day health. We are licensed by the state of California, community care licensing.
Okay. So, all right, let's talk a minute about collaborations. You've mentioned that a few times. So, I bet you collaborate with all kinds of different organizations.
Well, I think in this town, since we have so many great partners and nonprofits, it's key for all of us as nonprofits to partner with other agencies. You know, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And we're all going after the same funders and the same sponsors.
So,
so whatever we can do to partner with other organizations to keep people active and vital and safe in our community is key. We partner with, you know, Easy Lift for transportation. We partnered with the Bucket Brigade during the pandemic when we first closed our site. We also partnered with a food bank. We partner closely with the Alzheimer's Association and Help of Carpinteria and, you know, county adult protective services.
Yeah.
You know, as well as the, you know, public government as well. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So, do you use volunteers?
Absolutely.
Oh, you do?
We love volunteers.
Oh, good.
Well, in addition to our board of directors volunteering, which
Sure.
we so appreciate our strong, stalwart support from our board of directors.
Yeah.
We also have volunteers through colleges like Westmont and UCSB.
That's good.
They can help with fundraisers. They can help with data entry. We also have some volunteers that could come and be a buddy with our seniors and just have conversations.
Oh,
yeah.
That's nice. So let's just say somebody's watching this and they want to volunteer their time, or they want to find out more about Friendship Center, or maybe they have a loved one they'd like to enroll.
Right.
How can they find out about that sort of thing? Going on your website?
Right, going on our website at friendshipcentersb.org or calling our center at 805-969-0859. And what I would want to share with the community is if you have any talent, and it could be, I like to go fly fishing.
Oh.
You could come and share with our seniors how you fly fish. Dress up, you know, in your fly fish outfit and come in. You have such a great audience that will be so receptive. So even if you don't think you have a really, really talent, just think about what you do in life and contribute. And you can make an activity out of that. And our seniors and the people who attend our program are so responsive. I once had a friend who brought in her parrot.
Oh gosh.
You know, and it just talked up a storm. Because, you know, so that's how we encourage people to volunteer. If you play the piano, if you have a collection of rocks, you know, come and share your talent and your hobby with our seniors, and they'll just be so appreciative.
So let's say somebody has a hobby and they want to, I'll be happy to come and share it. But what do? I don't know how to present this. Would you work with them and help them come up with a little plan to share their hobby?
Sure, we'll give them some bullet points.
Okay, good.
For example, I collect the Fiesta eggs, the cascarones,
Oh, uh-huh.
and I have a collection of those.
Oh, wow.
So I like to, show them during Fiesta and talk about them. And then we have an activity where we make cascarones.
Oh, gosh.
So, hobbies like that. Or example, if you have a favorite recipe, that you want to talk about and share. So there's all sorts of ways the community can volunteer, and we really encourage their participation.
Great.
So,
Okay, so now back to your website. You're a 501c3.
correct.
And you accept tax-deductible donations.
Absolutely.
And I'll bet a person can go on your website and you probably have a Donate Now button or something like that.
We do. And I encourage everybody to go onto that website and click on that button, because it has been a difficult, challenging time
Yes.
during the pandemic. However, we're surviving. We're making it happen because our program and our services are so viable to the community.
Yeah, yeah.
And we couldn't do it without the support of many supporters and donors and funders
Yes.
to get through this challenging time. And, we will be back to full services one day when this is all behind us. But we're going to continue to do our best work that we can right now, following all the safety protocols that we can to keep people safe and our teams safe and everyone safe while we enrich their lives, because we share the care at Friendship Center with our caregivers.
Yes, yes, I can see
So
that.
that they can maintain healthy lives too.
Yeah. Now, Heidi, a little birdie told me that you have been executive director at Friendship Center for something like 35 years.
That's correct,
And
Cinder.
yet you are still so excited about the work and so committed, and all. Tell us how that is for you.
Well, working at the Friendship Center has been my passion, and it's essential to our community, the services we provide. But it gives me such great love and purpose. And every day when I'm there, my office overlooks the courtyard, and I get to see, how we work, how our team works, how compassionate our Friendship Center team is, and I get to go and talk to some of the people who utilize our services. And I do recall one day, because as an executive director, you have all these balls in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And you're multitasking, and sometimes you get pretty busy, but we need to step back and we need to see what's around us and connect with the people that we serve. And one day I was just walking really quickly because I had to get some things done, and one of my senior members came up to me and goes, "You are a busy lady."
Oh.
And I just it made me take a pause.
Yeah.
And said, "Yeah, I got to slow down." And the man looked me in the eyes and he goes, "You know what I'm going to do the rest of my life?" I said, "No, what?" He goes, "I'm going to spend the rest of my life singing and dancing."
Oh, bless his heart.
It was so touching. And
Singing
it
and
just gave me a whole different perspective of our purpose and the work that we do. It's like, let's slow down here.
Yeah.
And see what's around us. Like, for example, during the pandemic, I noticed I look in the trees more. I look up. And I never used to look up as much before. But now I look up, and it's like a whole other world up there of what you see.
Good for you.
And so it's like that in my work. You just need to take the time and look at the purpose and the mission and what we do, because I get to see it all happen in front of us.
Yeah. Well, you, my dear, are a real inspiration to many, many, many people.
Thank you. It gives me great joy to work with our team, our board, our members, the community, and I am honored to do this kind of work.
Yes,
I really
can
am.
see that.
Yeah.
So we have about a minute left. Is there
Okay.
anything else you'd like for our audience to know about Friendship Center?
I think that I would like everyone to know that we really serve a great purpose. And often what I've heard from family members and caregivers is, I wish I would have known about Friendship Center earlier. So if you have a family member at home who needs some socialization during the day to be active with their peers and have a great time and be engaged and give them great purpose, don't wait. Call us at 805-969-0859, and we're there to help.
That is a great message.
Yes, great message.
Oh gosh, Heidi, thank you so much for all the good work you do.
you.
And for being with us today on our show.
It was a pleasure being on 805 Focus. You all do such great work. Thank you.
And thanks for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.